After playing hundreds of horror games, I can tell you this. Some are forgettable, but a few still keep me up at night. These ones aren't just scary while you play, they linger in your mind long after the screen goes dark. Here it is, 15 horror games that gave me nightmares. If we're talking about horror games that seriously gave me nightmares, Until Dawn easily makes the list. It starts like a typical teen slasher, a group of friends heading to a snowy mountain lodge, but the longer you stay, the more you realize something's deeply wrong. The setting feels isolated, quiet, and full of secrets that should have stayed buried. Every choice you make can save or kill someone, and the game never lets you forget it. That butterfly effect system means even small decisions come back to haunt you hours later. What really makes it hit is how real it feels. The acting, the motion capture, the way characters panic and argue, it all feels natural. Until Dawn captures the chaos of fear, friendship, and bad timing in a way that sticks with you long after the credits roll.
There are a few things I need to make sure you understand.
I'm going to give you 10 seconds.
No, please, no!
The past is beyond our control. You have to accept this in order to move forward.
It was just a prank, man.
Everything you do, every decision you make from now on will open doors to the future.
The choice is yours.
I want you to remember this. I want you to remember this as you play your game.
This Japanese horror series never fails to scare me, and Mask of the Lunar Eclipse might be its most haunting entry yet. The game takes place on Rogetsu Island, where a group of women return to uncover what really happened during their childhoods. Memories tied to disappearances, rituals, and restless spirits. Everything about it feels uneasy. The old hospital halls are quiet, the air heavy, and every door creak sounds too real. The camera obscuro returns as your only defense, forcing you to face ghosts head-on through the lens. It's a cruel trick. The only way to survive is to look directly at what's trying to kill you. It's elegant, slow, and deeply unsettling in that classic Japanese way. More psychological than loud. Fatal Frame Mask of the Lunar Eclipse doesn't just scare you, it lingers, like a nightmare you accidentally brought back with you.
Damn it! I thought I told you kids to check everything.
Look, it's not that big of a deal, okay? We'll just spend one more night here.
No! No! Just stop. Let me think. Okay. Make sure that everybody is inside the lodge for tonight. Lock the doors. No one in, no one out. No one. Got it? I'll be back first thing in the morning, and we'll get you all on the road.
What if we're out partying tonight, out in the woods, and we end up in a most dangerous game situation?
Like when people hunt other people?
Yeah, I mean, think about it. Camp is over, and hunting season has just begun.
This one reminded me why I shouldn't play horror games late at night. The Quarry feels like a modern campfire story that suddenly turns real. It follows a group of camp counselors stuck in Hackett's Quarry after dark. One last night before going home that, of course, goes horribly wrong. Like Until Dawn, your choices decide who makes it out alive. Every conversation, every quick-time event, every small hesitation can change the story. What really sells it is the pacing. It starts off slow, playful, even funny. Then the tone shifts, and suddenly every light in the forest looks suspicious. You're not just running from something, you're trying to figure out what's even hunting you. The Quarry nails that classic horror vibe, part teen drama, part creature mystery. And by the end, you'll realize just how bad one bad choice can get.
友達といつまでも一緒にいたい。お友達は永遠じゃないのよ。彼らだっていつか必ずあなたを裏切る。あなたが裏切り者と呼ばれたように。
きなこ？あ、ごめん。何？
天秤にかける価値があるかどうか。
The first time I played Silent Hill F, I didn't expect it to mess with my head that much. At first, it felt calm, walking through this quiet Japanese town wrapped in fog. But the more I explored, the more everything started to feel wrong. The streets, the whispers, even the way the air moved. You play as Hinako, a student caught in a small town slowly being overtaken by a strange red fungus that spreads across walls and bodies. It's haunting and oddly beautiful at the same time. What really stuck with me wasn't the monsters or the violence, but the silence between moments. Every sound feels intentional. Every corner feels watched. Silent Hill F doesn't rely on cheap scares. It builds a feeling that follows you long after you stop playing.
Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for visiting, and we hope you enjoyed the show. Freddy and the gang are pretty tired, but they'll be back again next week after a few days of scheduled maintenance. Freddy Fazbear's Mega Pizzaplex is now closed, initiating nighttime protocols.
No! Wait, I'm still here!
Lights on! I warned you! I warned you!
Five Nights at Freddy's. I kept glancing at the corner of my screen, even when nothing was happening. There's this tension where every camera flicker, every hum of machinery feels loaded. I remember sitting there in the dark, headphones on, waiting for something to move. I remember night 3 especially. I thought I had everything under control, watched the feed, listened for breathing. Then Bonnie just appeared in my doorway, no warning. My heart skipped. After that, I kept double-checking everything, checking corners, the shadows, even the power meter. FNAF is scary not just because of the jump scares, but because it makes you feel powerless and always second-guessing. Did I miss something? Should I close that door now or risk running out of power? That silence between moments. That's what stayed with me as I turned off the game. The first time I played Outlast, I sat in complete darkness, headphones cranked, heart already racing before I even moved. The halls of Mount Massive Asylum felt alive. You control Miles Upshur, a journalist exploring an abandoned psychiatric hospital after hearing rumors of illegal experiments. You don't get weapons. Your only tool is a camcorder with night vision, and its battery is always running low. I remember creeping through corridors, pressing myself against walls so I wouldn't be seen, holding my breath when I heard footsteps. When a monster suddenly appears behind me, its distorted silhouette through night vision made me jump so hard I nearly dropped the controller. That's what Outlast does. It makes you feel powerless, like the building itself is hunting you.
Losing our minds.
Leslie! There's something wrong with this place.
He wants out!
This is my will.
The Evil Within follows Sebastian Castellanos, a detective who gets pulled into a twisted world filled with monstrous creatures, shifting environments, and deadly traps. Ordinary hallways twist into nightmare corridors. Walls bleed, ceilings stretch, and staircases loop back on themselves like the world's folding in on you. What really stuck with me was how limited your ammo always felt. You'd hear a distant groan, maybe see something move in the corner, and you'd think, do I risk fighting or slip away? The Safe Haven, a mirror world where you can upgrade and regroup, felt like the only breath of relief in a suffocating game. It's not flashy horror, it's the slow dread, the environments mutating, and the feeling that you're always one step away from being trapped. That's what made The Evil Within linger, even after I shut it off.
Brace yourselves!
He's gonna smash us into the hull!
I think it's me. It's all falling apart here.
Hey, Isaac. You coming?
Where is everybody?
Up there!
This transformation, it's remarkable.
Dead Space Remake rebuilds one of the most iconic sci-fi horror games ever made. And it doesn't pull any punches. The Ishimura, that massive mining ship, looks and sounds terrifyingly alive. Pipes hiss, vents shake, and something always moves just out of sight. Instead of relying on cheap jump scares, the game traps you in a constant state of tension. The new Intensity Director keeps every hallway unpredictable, turning backtracking into a fresh nightmare each time. Isaac Clarke isn't just a silent survivor anymore. His new voice and dialogue give the story more weight and emotion without losing that feeling of isolation. The remake's biggest win is balance. It respects what made the original great, but updates everything around it. The lighting, physics, and detailed dismemberment system make every fight brutal and deliberate. Days Gone drops you into a broken world where survival is never guaranteed. Set in the mountains and forests of Oregon, it follows Deacon St. John, a drifter and former biker trying to stay alive after a viral outbreak turns people into relentless, fast-moving freakers. What makes it stand out isn't just the open world, but how unpredictable it feels. One minute you're scavenging an abandoned camp, the next you're running for your life from a horde that doesn't stop chasing. The bike is your lifeline. You repair it, refuel it, and it becomes your only real home out there. The game's world keeps changing too. Weather, time of day, and enemy behavior shift constantly, so no two rides feel the same. Days Gone mixes action, stealth, and survival perfectly.
For mass burial. These grave sites are now feeding grounds for freakers, making for some deadly rides and intense horde fights. Weather, harsh and unpredictable. In the northern Cascade region, heavy rain will muddy up those windy trails. Snow in the mountains and foothills will make the freakers even stronger and more dangerous. With 6 regions filled with abandoned Nero checkpoints, survivor camps, choked off tunnels, explore the world of Days Gone at your peril.
Visage is the kind of horror game that doesn't need jump scares to get under your skin. The house itself does all the work. Everything happens inside a large old home filled with tragic memories, and the more you explore, the more the house starts turning against you. Doors move on their own, lights flicker for no reason, and sometimes Something just stands there, watching. The gameplay moves slow on purpose. You don't fight back, you just survive, managing your sanity as the environment twists in subtle, unnerving ways. What makes Visage so good is its realism. The lighting, the pacing, the quiet tension, it all feels too real. It's not about running from monsters, it's about being trapped in your own fear, unsure of what's real anymore. By the time the credits roll, the house isn't what haunts you, it's the silence afterward. Amnesia: The Dark Descent is one of those games that quietly redefined horror. It puts you in Brennenburg Castle, a place that feels alive in the worst way possible. There are no weapons here, no easy way out. Your only tools are light and sanity, both slipping away the longer you stay in the dark. The fear in Amnesia doesn't come from what you see, but what you imagine. Every creak makes you hesitate. Every faint growl makes you freeze. The monster rarely appears, but when it does, you run. Not to fight, but to hide, hoping it doesn't hear you breathing. Its minimalist design is what makes it timeless. The physics-based puzzles, the journal entries, and the fragile sense of control all make you feel small and human. Amnesia: The Dark Descent doesn't chase you with action. It traps you with atmosphere, and it never really lets you go. Cronos The New Dawn is the kind of horror that messes with your head and your hands. Monsters here aren't just creepy, they merge. If you don't burn a corpse quickly, it gets absorbed by nearby undead and becomes a stronger, twisted version of itself. That mechanic alone makes every kill feel like a gamble. The world shifts between a ruined future and 1980s Poland. One moment you're crawling through decaying wastelands, the next you're in retro city blocks haunted by memories. The retro-futurist tech mixed with brutal Eastern European vibes gives it a unique tone. Lots of times I froze in place, not because a monster popped out, but because the silence, the architecture, and the shadows together felt wrong. Cronos doesn't just scare you with what's in front of you. It makes you question what else might be lurking.
Stronger as they merge. Efficiency discipline is recommended. Such is our calling.
Follow your purpose. Gather the other essences.
The vocation must go on. I need to do my part.
For me, it's always like this.
Doesn't matter who I am. I am here for you, James. See? I'm real.
Silent Hill 2 Remake brings back one of the most haunting stories in gaming, rebuilt from the ground up with modern visuals and sound. The fog isn't just atmosphere anymore, like it's hiding memories you're not ready to face. James Sunderland returns to Silent Hill after receiving a letter from his late wife, and from there, everything unravels. The town shifts with his emotions, turning guilt and grief into physical nightmares. The new third-person perspective changes how you move through the world, but it still keeps that slow, suffocating tension the original was known for. It doesn't rely on nostalgia, it reimagines it. The monsters are more human this time, their movements more deliberate, and that makes every encounter harder. Silent Hill 2 Remake isn't just a return, it's a deeper look into what fear really means. Resident Evil 7 changed everything for the series. Instead of global outbreaks and heavy action, it drags you into one house in rural Louisiana and keeps you there. The Baker family's home is filthy and rotting. The switch to first person makes the horror feel personal. You're not watching Ethan survive. You are him. Searching for his missing wife quickly turns into a nightmare of survival, where every drawer, every tape, every creak adds to the dread. It's not just the scares that make this game special, but how grounded it feels. The weapons are clunky, the healing system is desperate, and you never feel safe no matter how armed you are. Resident Evil 7 doesn't rely on cheap shocks. It traps you in its world and dares you to make it out alive. Alien Isolation nails the feeling of being hunted better than almost any horror game out there. Set 15 years after the first movie, you step into the role of Amanda Ripley, searching for answers about her missing mother aboard the Sevastopol station, a place that's already falling apart. The xenomorph isn't scripted or predictable. It learns how you play, listens for your footsteps, and reacts to every sound you make. Hiding in lockers or under tables might save you once, but it'll start checking those places later. That's what makes the fear stick. It feels like a real predator learning how to catch you. Everything about the design sells that old-school sci-fi horror. The CRT screens, flickering lights, clunky motion tracker, all of it looks straight out of the 70s film.